Hello, welcome back. In this video we will learn something exception handling called exception handling in Java. Okay, so let's talk about what exception actually is. Exceptions are those errors which occurs at the time of the execution of the any program. Means those errors which cannot be handled by the programmer at the time of writing the code for the any software or any application. Those are the exceptions. Like suppose if you are trying to add a program that will divide two numbers, and the numbers will be entered by the users. So let's say suppose you divide the first number by second number, and user can enter the second number as 0, so their division by the 0 is not possible. So this is the type of exception that is called arithmetic exception, divide by 0. So you cannot handle this situation at the in the code, in the normal code of your program, because and you cannot bound the user to input the not input the 0 also. So this is some kind of you can say exceptions. You can also say that like if you have made any program to open any files, and unfortunately the user wants to open the files which is not existing in the current directory or in the specified directory, then it's also a type of exception. So we can handle these exceptions. Means and these exceptions, I am telling you, these exceptions are very a big problem for the any program. Like if your program consists several module, and if any exceptions occurs in the any module, and if you do not handle that exceptions, your whole program will be hanged or will stop working, and your software will be crashed. So we use exception handling because if any exception occurs in the any particular module of the program, then we will handle that exception, and that problem will be limited to that module only. So rest of the module of our program will be working fine. So that's why you use exception handling codes in our program. So let's see how we will handle the exceptions. So we have some classes to handle the exceptions in Java. We have at the very top of the we have throwable class, that is the super class for all the exceptions classes. And after the throwable class we have uh, two exceptions, that is one exception class and another error class. So we will be dealing with here with exception class. And after the exception class has so many subclasses also, like runtime exception, and inside the runtime exception there are so many exception classes like arithmetic exception, array index of bound exception, uh, path not find exception, and there are so many exceptions like I input output IO exception. um, so we will see these classes one by one. We will try to cover up more and more exception classes in our course. So these are the classes who help us to handle the exceptions in Java. But in actually we have some keywords that will provide a tool, or you can say that will be actually handling the exceptions in our program. So we have 5 keywords. I mentioned the keywords here. First one is try, next one is catch, next one is finally. Okay, let's we will talk the finally at the last. And so next one is throw and throws. So these are the 5 keywords which will be used in the exception handling. Look, in exception handling, classes doesn't matter. If you want to handle any specific exception, then you can use any specific exception class. Either you can use the exception class, that is the super class for the all exceptions, so you can easily use exception class. Or if you are if you are sure about some specific exception in your board block of code, then you can use any exception class. We will see this in our is this in this video. So we will talk about these 5 keywords that will help us to handle the exception in our Java program. First one is try. So try a keyword surrounded by the 2 curly bracket, that is block of the try keyword, and we write those codes inside the try block which are suspected to create any exception, or those lines of code that may create any exception are written inside the try block. And if any exceptions occurs inside the try block, then the execution control jumps from try block to the catch block. So we define the catch block just after the try block, and if any exceptions occurs in the try block, the catch block codes handles that exception and prevent our program to being corrupted or to being crashed. So we write the try block first, then after the try block we write catch block. Okay, next keyword is throw. Throw is the keyword which is used to throw an exception from one place to another place, or one block to another block. Like if an exception occurs in any block, we can handle that exception using catch block or try and catch block, but we cannot handle we may not, or we cannot handle that exception in that block, and we can explicitly throw that exception to the out of that block, and we can easily handle that exception in somewhere in our program. So that's is done by the throw keyword. And next one is throws. So throws keyword actually makes the list of possible, you can say, exceptions that may exist in the any method or routines. And so both are used simultaneously. Means throws will make the list of the what types of exception, and it will provide the detail of the exception that is thrown by the method. And throw keyword will actually throw the exception out of the block. Okay, finally is catch independent, or you can say exception independent block. The code written inside the finally block will run either exception occurs or not occurs, it doesn't matter. So finally block will always be executed, and it doesn't depend on the any term and conditions of the program. So we will normally write the finally at the end of the program. So it indicates that the execution of the program is terminated now, or we write those codes in finally which is exception free, or there the chances of the exception is 0 or very less. So let's see the use of these keywords one by one. And so we will create yeah, very a small exception handling code here in our program right now. So let's go write some codes here. Okay, so we are in our root in our main class, that is ABC class, and we are in our root package, that is test_java. So and we have also created our main method here. So I will write I will declare some variables here, the integer type. So I will create ABC. Okay, Now let's provide assign some value to our variable. So I will write a equal to uh, 45, say 45, and b equal to okay 0. Now write c equal to a plus b, and right here is system dot out dot println. I hope you don't have any problem in these few lines of code. We have just simply declared some variable, and we assigned the value a as 45 and b as 0, and then we are adding the value of a and b in c, and we are printing this value of c. So if I execute this program, and it says okay and result is 45, there is no error, no exception in our program. Okay, now I will change this plus operator, or I will replace the plus operator with the divide sign. Now since in compilation there is no error, no syntax error, no semantic error, and no any compile time error is present in our code, so our compiler says our program is neat and clean and it's ready to execute. But as soon as we execute our program, it says exception in, you can see here, exception in thread main. If you have watched the thread video of the thread, you will understand this. So meaning of the thread main means in it says in our main method there is a exception, and the name of the exception is our arithmetic exception, and divide by 0, type is divide by 0. So it's a exception in our program. Okay, what this java.lang means, in the I talked about the earlier, that is throwable class, which is the supermost class in the of the exception and error, and exception class, that is the subclass of the throwable class, but super class of the all types of exception. So these all classes are defined in the java.lang package, or since java.lang package is already imported in all the Java programs, so we do not import the java.lang package explicitly in our program. So in Java, if here you can see we have not written any exception handling code, but still our result says there is exception in our program. What happens if programmer do not handles any exception explicitly by writing its own code, JVM automatically handles that exception. Java virtual machine will take care of those exceptions. So here JVM is handling the exception, that is arithmetic exception, divide by 0. Okay, so let's write our own code to handle the exception. So we know that the exception that is occurring in this line, so we can put this line in try block, or we can put these all lines in try block. But since we know that the exception is occurring in the, or may occur in the particular line or in particular block of code, so we will write this in try block. So I type try, and inside the try I write this line, and I close the try block. Then I have to write the corresponding catch block to handle the exception that occurs in the try block. So I will write here catch, and since it's arithmetic exception, we can write the, we will make the object of the arithmetic exception class here. So I will type the arithmetic exception object as a parameter to the catch method, or you can say catch, that is a keyword also. So I will type the arithmetic exception object, or I will pass the arithmetic exception object to the catch block. So I write here Since in nomenclature all the classes of the Java is first letter of the all the classes of Java is is written in capital letters, so I write capital A and then arithmetic exception, sorry, and we can make name the any object name, so I write AE for arithmetic exception, and inside the code, catch block I will write the code. So we can print any message like system.out println exception occurred. Okay, so we can just, or we can put this line in the try block. So if exception occurs, it will come to the catch block, and if exception doesn't occur, it will continue the execution of the try block. So right now what is happening, our program is getting crashed, you can see here, or you can also see something like that in here. Just print, I will make you more understandable, sorry, more easy to understand this program, like right here, hello. Okay, so just remove the try block. So what we have done here, we have removed the or we have made the comment as a comment to the try and catch block. Okay, so our program is normal right now, so I execute the program. As soon as in this line exception is occurring, the next execution is terminated by the JVM, and our programs gets, you can say, corrupted, or our programs goes dead, or our programs doesn't work anymore. But if we handle the exception, if we handle these exceptions, our program will not be terminated fully. It will, since exception will be in this line will be handled by the catch, but rest of the you can say execution will be continued. Like you can see here, as I executed our program, exception occurred in this line. This exception is handled by the corresponding catch block, and it prints exception occurred, and our rest of the program's execution is continued, or doesn't affected by the exception. So this is the beauty of the exception handling in any program, or in any object oriented programming language. So this is how we can handle any exception. So let's create another exception also in our this program. So I hope you have gone through array, so I will declare a array here. So I name this AR. So fine, this is a array, and the array index will be 0 to 2, AR0, AR1 and AR2. So let's write here a line, and that AR5 equal to 56. So since syntax, if you go through the syntax of the Java program, in this line there is no error, but actually there is a exception in this line. Since we have created array as size 3, so index value will be from 0 to 2, 0, 1 and 2, but we are assigning a value 56 at the index number 5 in AR array, but that is exception of array index of bound, because it's beyond the index of the array. So let's execute our program. It says same output is here, because in Java or in any exception handling code, since only one exception is handled at a time, in one try block. So as soon as this exception is created, the execution control jumps out of the try block and it search for the corresponding catch block. And since we have written the corresponding catch block, that is arithmetic exception, so it says, oh, arithmetic exception is created and arithmetic exception handling code is there, so it prints exception occurred. So let's now make this line as comment. Now this arithmetic exception will not occur. This also should be comment, because C will be undeclared here. Okay, sorry, C will be empty and C will be uninitialized here. So now in our program there is an exception called array index of bound, but we have not created any array index of bound exception catch block. So what happens, it again Java Java virtual machine handles those exceptions. So we can create our multiple catch with this same try block. So I will write another catch block, and I will create I will pass a array index of bound object here. So according to the nomenclatures, every letter of the word in Java class name should be in capital letter. So I will write array index, sorry, I of the index should be in capital letter. So index out of bounds, and I will name this object as ARE for array index of bound exception. And finally I will you can say define the catch block here. So I will write system.out.println system. Okay, here let's write ARE. So since we are handling the exception handling array index of bound exception here, so this ARE object will you can say hold the detail of the exception handled by this catch block. So I just print the ARE, so it will print the all detail of this exception. Similarly, we can print our own message, or we can print the object of the handling corresponding exception handling class. So now I will make this one include this line in our program. So if I execute our program, it says java.lang arithmetic exception divide by 0. Since we have printed a, so it's saying what type of exception and from which and which class is handling this exception is shown here. Similarly, if I again make this comment, and or we can also do this, I will cut this array index of bound exception and I will paste above the arithmetic exception. So since only one exception will be handled at a time, so as soon as this exception will be occurred, and this time it says array index of bound exception number 5 sorry, index number 5 is handled here. So you can see here what is happening. As soon as any exception is occurred, control of execution jumps out the try block and it search for the corresponding catch block, and if the corresponding catch block is present in the code, it handles the exception, and if corresponding catch block is not present here, JVM will automatically handle those exceptions. So since we are here a specific, so we can write the multiple catch block, but we are here we know what type of exception may occur in our code, so we can use any specific arithmetic exception class here. Like we are aware about this is array index of bound, so we use array index of bound. We know this is arithmetic exception, so we use arithmetic exception here. But we can use a single exception class, since exception class is super class, so exception class will can handle both array index of bound array arithmetic exception, null pointer exception, and all those classes comes in under the exception class. So our program is still fine. We can it can handle both of the exception, since we are using only exception class. You can also use some methods defined, you can say defined inside the exception class, like get message. It will print you what are the message associated with the those exception. So message is divided by 0, that is exception. Or you can also use some methods like get cause. Sorry, get cause is a througable method, but still you can use get class. So it says a class of the exception is Java arithmetic exception class. So you can use if you want to go more specific about your exception, you can use so many functions are there. You can refer any book or to know those exceptions. Since here in video tutorial the time is limited, so I can't show you all the methods defined inside the exception class. So this is how a basic exception handling program can be made in the Java using try and catch block. We will see the throw and throws keyword in our next video. Okay, so that's all for in this video.